Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling something I know a lot of you are interested in. AI and cybersecurity. Specifically, how hackers are using AI like ChatGPT to really step up their game. And we're talking real-world examples here.
Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. AI has this incredible potential for good, right?
Yeah.
But in the wrong hands. Well, it can be a pretty scary weapon.
Right, like that double-edged sword we hear about. But before we dive into the scary stuff, can you remind us about some of the positive ways AI is being used, just for a little context?
Oh, totally. Like
Mm.
in cybersecurity itself, AI can be used to spot threats in real time. It's like having a security guard who's always watching, always analyzing network traffic for anything suspicious.
Yeah.
Never gets tired.
Wow, that's actually pretty impressive, though I guess today we're focusing on the less benevolent uses. We've got two main groups we're looking at today, right?
Yeah, exactly. First, we've got Cyber an Iranian group. They're linked to the IRGC, which is basically Iran's military branch focused on protecting their Islamic system. Then there's Sweet Spectre, and they're believed to be tied to China, known for being super stealthy and really focused on those critical infrastructure targets.
Okay, so starting with Cyberattacks, they actually used AI to go after water systems. Tell me more about that. That sounds terrifying.
It is. They used ChatGPT to target water systems, both in Ireland and the U.S. In one case, they actually managed to mess with water treatment facilities so badly it led to shortages. Imagine, like, a whole city's water supply held hostage by hackers using AI.
That's just chilling. It does sound like something out of a movie, but it's really happening. So how did ChatGPT help them pull this off? What can AI actually do in a situation like that?
It's not really that AI gives them totally new powers. It's more like it gives them a massive upgrade. Think of a hacker suddenly able to do the work of, like, 100 hackers all at once.
So like giving them super speed for their usual bag of tricks?
Exactly. What used to take cyber attackers weeks to plan and execute, now with AI, maybe they can do it in days, even hours. And it wasn't just water. They were also hitting those industrial control systems, ICS. Those are like the brains behind our essential services, power grids, transportation.
Right, ICS. Most people don't even know those exist, but they control so much. Why are those so appealing to hackers?
Because they're vital. They're what keep everything running smoothly. But the problem is, a lot of them were designed, well, way back when cybersecurity wasn't such a big concern. Like old houses with flimsy locks. Easy to exploit for someone who knows how.
So vulnerable systems plus hackers who now have AI speed, that is not a good combination.
Okay, let's talk about the other group, Sweet Spectre. They were doing something different, right?
Yeah, they were all about recon. They were using ChatGPT to find weak spots in systems and to create super believable phishing emails, like digital spies casing the joint before they make a move.
Oh, man. I feel like I'm finally getting good at spotting phishing emails, but if AI gets involved, and that's what's scary. This isn't your basic Nigerian prince scam anymore. This is AI that can go through tons of data, figure out what you specifically respond to, and tailor an email just for you.
So it could literally sound like it's coming from me if it knows enough about me. Unsettling.
Yeah.
Did Sweet Spectre have any specific targets in mind?
Get this. They actually tried to hack OpenAI itself. You know, the ones who created ChatGPT.
Wow, ballsy.
Right. Didn't work, ultimately. But talk about ambition. They are not afraid to go for the big leagues.
Okay, so we've got one group sowing chaos by hitting critical infrastructure and another playing this long game, super sneaky with their approach. If we take a step back, what are the larger dangers here? What keeps you up at night knowing AI can be used like this?
You know, it really is kind of scary when you think about how we're just scratching the surface with AI. We're already seeing how it can be, weaponized.
Yeah.
And as it gets even more powerful, well, the threats are going to get worse too.
Okay, definitely not the reassuring words I was hoping for.
Mm.
But let's unpack it a bit. What are the big dangers here? Give me the rundown.
So first up, you've got the automation of cyber attacks. Most attacks now, they still need humans doing a lot of the work. But AI, it can automate so much of that, make it faster, more efficient.
So instead of a small group of hackers trying to break in, it's like having an army of AI doing the heavy lifting, making bigger attacks more likely.
Right, and it's not just about speed. AI can make the attacks themselves more clever. Take malware, for example, those nasty programs that infect your computer. Well, with AI, hackers could create malware that's stealthier, harder to detect, way more effective.
Malware on steroids, and we're all struggling to keep our computers safe as at IS. Is there anything we can even do about this?
We'll get to solutions, promise.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about trust. Or really the loss of it. And you've seen those deepfakes, right? Super realistic, hard to tell what's real anymore. Now imagine that, but with AI creating fake news articles, social media posts, even videos, all designed to manipulate you, me, everyone.
Whoa. Yeah. That's not just about governments or corporations being targeted anymore. If we can't trust what we see online, that messes with everything. Our democracy, just how we function as a society.
Exactly. And that leads to, I'd say, the biggest danger: disinformation. Just spreading lies and propaganda on this massive scale. Imagine hundreds of sources that seem totally legit, all pushing the same fake story. How do you even fight that?
It's like taking the fake news problem we've already got and hitting fast forward. And what's worse, because it's AI driven, these campaigns could be way harder to spot in the first place.
Absolutely. This isn't just a tech problem anymore. It's about truth itself. How do we know what's real in this digital age? Big questions. We've got to get a lot smarter, faster to deal with this.
It's a lot to take in, but hey, knowledge is power, right? The more we know about these threats, the better we can fight back. So, speaking of fighting back, what can we do? Is there any hope in all this?
There's always hope. It's not hopeless.
Yeah.
But it's got to be a group effort, right? Governments, tech companies, everyday people like us. We all have a part to play.
Okay, so let's break that down. Where do we even start? Who needs to step up first?
I'm going to say regulation is key. Governments, tech companies, they need to work together to set some rules here, especially for these potentially dangerous AI uses.
Like setting boundaries. What's okay, what's not? Okay, you can't use it for that, makes sense. But what about beyond just rules?
Well, sometimes you got to fight fire with fire, right? We need to invest in our own AI defenses.
Using AI to protect us from AI, it's getting very sci-fi up in here.
Kinda, yeah. But it's what we got to do. We can use AI speed, its ability to learn, to our advantage, build systems that can analyze tons of data, spot those patterns, see attacks coming before a human ever could. Like our own AI security guards.
So it's like we're building our own AI army to fight back against the AI bots on the attack. Kind of cool, kind of scary. But is it enough? What about us, just regular people using the internet?
That's important too. Even with the best tech, we can't forget the human element. Cybersecurity, it's not just about firewalls and algorithms, it's about being smart online.
Okay, so what does that even mean? If I'm just like checking my email, scrolling through social media, what can I actually do to stay safe in this whole AI cyber Wild West?
First off, you're already doing something huge by being here. Knowledge is power, right? The more you understand the threats, the better prepared you'll be.
True, true. So information is step one. What's next?
Be proactive. Don't wait till something bad happens. Strong, unique passwords for everything. Two-factor authentication, use it whenever you can. That's a big one.
Ugh, yeah, I know, I should do that. Gotta work on that. What else?
Updates. I know they're annoying, but those software updates, they're not just about new emojis or whatever. A lot of times, they're patching up vulnerabilities that hackers could use to get in.
So it's like updating your defenses, making sure those walls are strong. Makes sense.
Exactly. Oh, and of course, be careful what you click on, especially emails, messages, anything that seems even a little fishy. Remember how SweetSpectre used AI for those really convincing phishing scams?
Right, right. Can't be too careful these days.
Exactly. Double check those sender addresses, hover over links before you click them. A little healthy suspicion can go a long way. But honestly, can we stay ahead of this in the long run with hackers always getting these new AI tools?
That's the big question, isn't it? It does feel like a cat and mouse game. A little overwhelming, honestly.
I get it. It's going to be constant back and forth for sure. As AI gets smarter, the attacks will too. But the good news is, so will our defenses. We'll have better tools, smarter strategies. Just got to keep learning, keep adapting.
It's a wild ride, that's for sure. Well, this has been incredibly eye-opening. Thank you so much for breaking all this down for us and for giving us some hope and some homework, apparently. Got to update all my passwords now.
My pleasure. Glad we could shed some light on all this. And remember, the more we know, the safer we'll all be out there.
Absolutely. And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and we'll see you out there in the digital world.